Alrighty, Doc here from North America.
Yep.
We got the sound, we got the picture. No, we don't have the picture. Let's get the picture up there.
Alrighty, Doc here from North America.
Now, what is the issue here? I guess this has to go up. Okay, so that goes down, right? And that has to go up. Alright, so let's make that like so. There we are. I think we're getting there. Let's get J4X up there. We switched monitors on this particular computer system over the weekend. I should have backtested. I should have tested it. That's what I should have done. Okay, so, alright. Wow. I gotta switch another monitor back. It's not happy. Obviously it's not happy. Now there you can see that's the Swiss. And you can see right there. Wow. That's not too good a view, is it? Let's do this. Let's push this in. Maybe that helps out a little bit. Go like that. You can see the Swiss this morning lifting up. And we're like, oh, that's confusing. I thought that it was going to go sideways. And it's being pushed up pretty hard. And then when you look at when you see the Chicago Quant, it's even worse. Let's see where we at here. Why is that looking so funky? Like that? There we are. Oh yeah, I've got to definitely change the monitors back, that's for sure. I have no idea what that line is there. Let's do this. Let's get rid of that. And try that again. I should have brought it down. But we'll get the Chicago Quant up there again. Not there. There it is. Not there. Right there. And we'll get that going in a second here. Oh, it's asking us. No wonder. We got to push the mouse button. There we are. And minimize that. And maybe I should bring that down even. Let's see if we do this. Let's see. So I go like that. Can I bring that up? What happens when I bring that up? It explodes it. Alright, let's try this one more time. Let's kill the volume on that machine there too. There we go. And let's see if we can get that Chicago Quant up there. And you can see right there. It's like, wow, why are you jumping like a little bunny? Look at the thing. It didn't even come down and touch the 50 percentile. It's just like right back to the top end of the range. I guess, you know, this action we're seeing in Europe has some people freaked out, I guess. I guess that's the best way to describe it, right? I mean, you know, the European Union, Mr. Putin, I guess he's got everything moving along. Here in the States, you know, our stock markets are jumpy, but nothing major. Maybe 1.25% down at one point I saw this morning. It's only down a half a percentage point now. A little bit better than that, you know, like 66, but 2/3. But I mean, that's just, you would expect something like that in this whole montage of Mr. Putin playing whack-a-mole with Ukraine. So you would expect a lot of nervousness. I mean, it's not every year or every decade that there's a war that goes on in Europe. Europa is supposed to be more sophisticated than that. Mr. Putin is supposed to be more sophisticated than that. But buckus, as we would say in Chicago. Nothing. That's what buckus means. It means nothing. You get nothing. And so that's what we're seeing here now. You can see the Swiss lifting its little arm up like that. And that's a pretty good sized candle for the day. And I guess that's the flight of nervousness. And you can see we're trying to get, let's see, it went into the buy here. It went into the sell on Friday. And now we're back into the buy again today. Our weekly is trying to turn up right there, so there's a lot of pressure on this product here. Let's show you J4X again. All right, J4X right there. See, same thing, you know. You see that big green hinky. You can see the white line moving up. It's like, wow, you know what's the malfunction there, huh? I guess it's Mr. Putin, his war machine. I understand he's negotiating for civilians to be able to be evacuated, but they're only allowed to go to Belarus or Russia. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. It's amazing. I have to laugh at it. Sure, it's crazy. I mean, it does. It sounds crazy. So, anyhow, that's the Swiss. That's the flight to safety for the Europe and most of the world. And obviously, this morning, they don't feel too flight to safety. And Mr. and Mrs. Dollar is looking very firm. King Dollars, we had a conversation about that last week. Why is it the King Dollar? Because China is not who they say they are. In other words, they're just a colony of the United States, and they're not really that big of an economy. And I wanted to mention this because over the weekend, there was talk about the BRICS again. We haven't heard about the BRICS in a long time. I don't know if many of you even remember hearing about the BRICS, and that's like Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South African Rand. And so they say that if you put those 5 economies together, they're bigger than the United States. I myself don't believe it, because if China stopped trading with America tomorrow, their economy shrinks something like 70%. You know, why? I don't understand it. Why do I see these things and nobody else sees them? I don't understand people who talk to the public about the markets, newsletters. I don't understand why I'm sitting here telling you that we know that China, 73% of their exports go to the United States. If they walked away from trading with the United States, their economy drops 70 some odd percent right off. I mean, no one's going to step up buying. I mean, look at the Russian economy. It's a $1.5 trillion economy. We're a $23 trillion economy. India, I don't know what India is. Maybe it's a $2 trillion, $1 trillion, $3 trillion. I don't know. Brazil, is Brazil really a $1 trillion economy? Is South Africa a $1 trillion economy? I mean, you know, the BRICS, you have to actually remove China from the calculation, because they lose 73% of their economy if they stop trading with the United States. But trust me, we're not going to be buying it in BRIC currency, or whatever currency they invent. There's no way in the world. They couldn't even handle us. We'd blow them out, like mechanically. It's like going into a candy store and buying a piece of bubble gum for $100, where everybody else pays 50 cents or a quarter or something like that for a stick of gum. Just a stick, not the pack. So I mean, the U.S. is 20 times bigger. So if a slice of gum costs, say, 25 cents, a quarter of a dollar, well, you just multiply that by 20. So what is that? That's like 10 times. It's $2.50. So we'd pay $5 for a slice of gum. Everybody else is paying a quarter. You think we're going to do that? Forget about it. Not happening. So anybody out there that thinks that they're going to run to the BRICS all of a sudden, that ETF that's out there that's going to help them out, and they're going to jump ahead of the curve for the New World Order, be very careful about that concept. Unless you can do it in binaries and derivatives, don't pay attention. All right. From there, let's take a look at the euro. But I hadn't heard about the BRICS in a while. I thought that was kind of funny. Someone told me, actually, a friend of a friend told me in a phone conversation 3 weeks ago about the BRICS. Like, the BRICS are going to possibly take over the world, the world reserve. And I was like, what are you talking about? That's not realistic. And I went into that same litany as I just did now with all of you. All right, let's get the euro up here. Where are you, Mr. and Mrs. Euro? Right there. There we are. And there's the euro again. We're seeing some real weakness in here. It just keeps on rolling over, and I guess when you start taking over nuclear power plants with tanks, it definitely shakes up Mr. and Mrs. Europe. And I don't blame them. That's kind of crazy. Now look at that. Euro is off the lows. You can see that. Let's see. No, you can't see it, but I can see it. And we'll do that right there. You see that? It's coming off its lows. And it went down and touched the bottom end of the range. Look at that. It hit it, bounced. You know, we talk about this range thing, where how the pairs trades are all locked in these ranges for a couple of years, and they just refuse to move away from them. And then we see the affirmation or confirmation or the confirming of it through the U.S. Treasury, who comes out and makes statements like, what do they do? They come out and make statements like someone is manipulating their currency. How in the world could anybody think about manipulating their currency when there's quantitative easing? Isn't everything manipulated at this point? I mean, honestly, quantitative easing is manipulating everything. So, I mean, I don't even understand when the U.S. Treasury comes out and says, okay, this country is not manipulating and this country is manipulating. You have to assume it's based off of what, traders? Probably a trading range. Because it surely isn't based off of their central bank coming in and buying their currency, because all central banks are the main players now. You know, they're the buyer of last resort. They're the major traders now. So, you know, you have to assume, this is just Doc's assuming it. And I'd imagine this is going to be like the, when Doc in 2008, 2009 was telling people that the Federal Reserve is now in there buying futures every day, and people would say, Doc, don't say that, because people are going to think you have to wear tinfoil on your head. And I said, I do wear tinfoil on my head, so I don't get the bad messages. And people would say, oh, you're making a joke out of it. No one that had money, even running money, would be as stupid as they are, in the transactions. So I can't figure out who's big enough to do stupid transactions but the Federal Reserve, because they can afford to. In other words, they've got more money than anybody on the planet. So they can afford to buy whatever they want, when they want, wherever they want. And, and it's against all the nature of trading to do it, but they're doing it. And then, 2010 comes along, and 2011, people are starting to say, I think the Federal Reserve is out there actually buying futures. Now we know that the Federal Reserve is out there every day participating in all our equity markets. And no one says to the world, oh, well, you need to be wearing tinfoil on your head anymore, because obviously that's the normal way. So obviously, Doc professes this odd concept of that they have currency pairs locked in ranges. And if a central bank is not supporting that range, then it's considered manipulation. And then there's a punishment by the Federal Reserve and the U.S. Treasury. So that's why we see it got near the bottom end of the range. In this case here, it bounced off it perfectly. Let's see if we can contract this and take a look. I don't remember the last time we were this low. It's like 2014 or something like that. 2012, something like that. We're banging against the bottom end of the range. So, all right. From there, we'll take a look at cable. See what the cable's up to. And there's the cable. And you see cable's doing the same exact thing. Isn't that neat? Playing with the range. And look at it. It went underneath it and poof, right back up over it again. It's got a tail just like the euro does. And we'll just take a look at that on J4X. And right there. And same situation. It's trying to lift back up the hinkies, the pressure. We've been in a sell for a few days. We're in a weekly sell now for weeks. And, it's the same way with all this stuff. It's the extremes, and Mr. Putin is not helping out any. So, at least not the rest of the world. I saw Hong Kong and, Shanghai and so forth all, down in the 3s and 4s. I haven't looked to see what Europe is doing, but I'm sure they're feeling pressure, especially when Mr. Putin's using tanks, as I said earlier, to take over a nuclear power facility, which is now considered the largest in Europe. Oopsie daisy? Isn't that the best way to describe that? Oopsie daisy? Uh-oh! As my 2-year-old grandchild says, "Uh-oh." Indeed. It's an uh-oh. Don't take over nuclear power plants with live fire from tanks. Definitely not a good thing. All right. Definitely a no-no. No. No. All right. From there, we'll jump over to the Turkish lira. And there it is right there. Dollar Turkish lira. You can see it moving up here. Let's see. Where is the... Let me move that over. Where is it at? Right there. Where is the bottom of the chart? Where's my indicator? Not that. I think go like that again. And we got something. Where's our lines at? Oh, I see. We don't have the... Oh, there it is, right there. There we go. So you can see the Turkish lira definitely firm. But again, when... I'm going to say it a third time. When you have two countries doing battle, and one of them decides to try to take over the largest nuclear power plant in Europe with live fire from tanks, I would think that products would be trading a little scared. That would make sense to me. I would call that a little scared, yeah. Right there, you can see it right there. But it's banging up against our trapezoid box, which we've made black lined on the other chart. So let's do it on there too. Not like that, right there. But you have to give Aragon some great kudos, you know. He's got it figured out. He definitely has it figured out. And so, you know, he's got that currency much more stable. I know we saw the inflation rate in Turkey at 54% last week, but I think most of that is from the past more than it is the now, you know. And with this type of action, inflation should start to back off in the Turkish lira. Now that's dollar Turkish lira. Let's go over to euro Turkish lira. There it is right there. And we need to make that line thickerish. There we are. So you can see here, it's not moving up anywhere near what the dollar Turkish lira is. And it's already trying to curve. It wasn't a weekly sell for 2 weeks now. It's curving up a little bit, but it's only 17 and change. So I'm not really that concerned. And it is Monday, TGIM. Thank goodness it's Monday. And let's show you that right there. There it is. Yeah, it's, you know, it's doing the curve and it's doing the twist and it's doing the turn. But in the end result, it's not looking too bad. You know, it's not. It hasn't taken out the high of Friday, and it hasn't taken out the high of what is that? That's the 24th, the day of invasion. So that's, you know, probably a very positive sign. You know, there's just background noise, trying to stay in whatever range that the U.S. Treasury / the Federal Reserve demands, asks for. You know, pressures, whatever you want to call it. And you can see it there again on the J4X. Just kind of cruising along. Up at the top end of its range. Alright. From there, we will jump over to... Where do we go from there? Let's go to Canadian. Right there, CAD. CAD tried to touch the top end of the range, it stopped there, and it's come back down. With oil running through the... I mean, you got to think, I mean, wow, Canadian oil. 120 something today. You know, U.S. oil trading at 121.70 as we speak. Now 121.65. Up 5% for the day. Now 121.31. Now 121.15. So it's hot and heavy, 21.17. So we have, you would think Canadian would be banging down hard, but obviously there's a rush for King Dollar. In other words, own king dollar, because if anybody survives anything, it's obviously going to be the U.S. of A. And so I guess that's why we're even seeing the weakness in the Swiss today. I guess that's a really interesting one. Is that's why we like to start the webinar off looking at the Swiss against the dollar. It's kind of like I guess you could call that like an internal indicator. There are things called just indicators, or broad indicators, and then there's these internal indicators. And when we're looking at the currency trading, and we look at the Swiss, that kind of gives us that flavor of what's going on there. So, all right, what we need to do now is go over to. We go and take a look at the. What do we do? We go over to the energies. Take a quick look at energies, right? Yeah. Isn't that it right there? What am I having an issue about? Oh yeah, here we go. Use that mouse. Let's take a look at gold, or we usually look at gold, or we look at oil, or we look at both of them. There's the 10-year bond. Woo, look at that. Nervousness is backing out of that, huh? It was up pretty good this morning at one point. And there is the oil, and you can see that. Also, oil is backed off of its high. I mean, we're trading at 121.30 there, as you can see, 134.36. And the high today is 130.50, so it's $9 off its high. Yes, it's $9 lower. And for Mr. and Mrs. Gold, it's off the highs of, what is that? We're looking at the highs of $2,007.50, and right now last trade is 1,988. So I wonder if I go like this. Let's see what if it looks a little bit bigger on the screen if I go down to this one. Does that look any bigger? No, it's the monitor that I'm using on this machine. Switched monitors, and I got to adjust the scale. So we'll do that. But at least you can see what we're talking about here. And let's get the oil back up there, like so. Nope, that's not it. Right there. There we are. All right. There we are. There we are. So, looking at that, it just shows us that things are backing off of the paranoia. Like I said, that nuclear power plant has a lot of people freaked out a little bit. I hear them talking on TV, buying grains and cereal and milk, and doing all kinds of things, and iodine pills. Lots of Americans are buying iodine pills for nuclear war. So it's like buying masks for COVID. They're buying iodine pills. So we've been prepping for nuclear war in the United States for 50 years. 50, 70 years. 70 years. 65, 70 years we've been prepping. Since the missile crisis in 1962. So what is that? That's 60 years. So we've been prepping for that situation a while now. And we've been building weapons for it for, I don't know, 70 years or something like that. And maybe even 75 years, since the end of World War II. Ever since the Russians developed a nuclear weapon, we always knew we would never fire a nuclear weapon first. And so, our system is designed to be a counterpunch. They launch, we destroy their nuke on the way here, unless they've buried some here on the homeland. And then we fire back at them, and then they go into a nuclear winter. So in the end result is that they panicked this morning, and money is basically saying, nah, don't be that scared. You can be scared, but don't be that scared. So they've taken oil off of its high of $9 higher, and it's $9 lower now from the overall trading today and last night. And gold's doing the same thing. It's backing off. So it's again, it's these are weird times. We're seeing strange things occur, and it has great influence on the products that we trade and what we look at. And so that's as much as everybody wants to think that things are hunky dory on some level, they're not. They're not a-okay, and obviously you can ask the Ukraine people that, and then all the neighboring countries around it. And then I heard something about Finland again. I might have mentioned it on Friday, but now we're hearing Finland is asking to join NATO, and they have a 600-mile border with Russia. And I guess the European Union, since it belongs to the European Union, it's involved with them. I guess they're telling Mr. Putin, try invading that, and we're defending it. So he's made it very clear, invade Finland, and we are defending it. So that really turns it into, uh-oh, indeed. All right. From there, we jump over to the South African Rand, and you would think the South African Rand would be doing really well today. Let's switch it over to there. There it is right there. And it's better than Friday, but hasn't broken the lows of Friday. So it's kind of just noisy. And it's even trying to go up into a daily buy. The weekly's been in a weekly sell since up in here, but it's really, not really doing what we would expect out of it, because their inventory of product that they sell, one of their big exports, is gold. You would think that they would be able to, gain from this, but obviously they're not gaining from it. All right, from there we jump over to Mr. and Mrs. Ruble. Last night I saw it playing with the high ends of the range, made another new high. But notice it's kind of locked in that range. We went into a sell on, was that Thursday? Yeah, Thursday we went into a sell. We went back into the buy on Friday. And they're not making quotes of it today. That's odd. Last night they were. Right now Ruble is not functioning. I guess they've gotten to the point now where they're not even trading Ruble. And let's see what it looks like on J4X. I don't think they've traded on J4X. They haven't traded Ruble since the invasion. So let's see, where's it at? Right there. Right there. Rub. Where's Rub? Yeah, so they've got, it's just flatlined. There's nothing there. Rub. And you can see right there, it's we're traders. All we want to do is trade a market. Really, make love, not war. All right. So even we're not getting quotes out of Ruble. Let me see if I can find a standalone quote without a chart. I'm not sure why the chart's not feeding in, but let's try something. Let's minimize that, and let's go to there and see what the rub looks like. Rub. So USD. Forex. Rub. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so they have it closed at 122.54. They're not making a market in it. That's what's happening there. So we're not even making markets in it now. Whereas before, we were making markets all the way up until last night. And now they've taken the quotes out of that, and there's Friday. So I have no idea. I don't know. How many times can I repeat myself? I hate repeating myself over all this. But that's the way it rolls. All right. From there, we'll jump over to the yen. You see the yen kind of firming up again. And these are 5-year highs right there. So we're waiting to see if they're going to take it to the next level. You see, this week it's already starting to try to aim up in its weekly. It closed in a weekly sell last week. Let's put that in there. There it is. And now it's, went into the, wasn't a daily buy. Yeah, there it is. It was daily buy on Thursday, and then Friday it went into the sell. So let's put that in there too. So we're on the second day of a sell, but it is trying to turn up price-wise. I still think that I don't know, it's just like everything else with me. Sometimes I hear a number in my head. I don't understand. I guess it's a combination of looking at charts, understanding trading, and my subconscious picks it up and says, look for this. I keep on seeing 118 in the yen. I don't know why in my head I see 118. I've been looking at charts at it, and I guess maybe that's an area that I think that's going to try to climb up to and then stall out from there. I'd be surprised if it got beyond that, but we'll watch and see. That's what's so beautiful about Doc's math is that it outthinks us all the time. It never surprises me how much it's able to outthink me. I've been watching it outthink me for over almost 50 years now. I've back tested it on some products that are not in the marketplace, natural occurrences, and I've gone back as much as 37 million years, and it still outthinks me. And so not everything I follow is the market itself, and natural cosmological events also. All right, from there we go over to the Mexican peso. That was working its way up last week. I was a little surprised about that, because I really thought the peso had calmed down, but I guess with the world look at that this morning. They've jacked it through the range. On Friday they pushed it up even higher, and then closed at the top of the range. And this morning they're ripping through it again. We're going through one of these messes again. And you can see we closed in a weekly sell last week. 2 weeks now we're in a weekly sell, and already the first day of this week we're through the weekly buy number. So they definitely have that product deeply concerned. There's no doubt about that. No doubt about that. Because we're seeing even the Mexican peso lift up. All right, so that pretty much gives us that quick run through the currency pairs that we look at. And from there, we'll jump over to... Where do we go to from here? We'll go over to... Let's see. We'll go look at the metals complex. Let's do that. Oh, let's show you that too on J4X. I'm going to shrink that down a little bit. That helps. And there is yen. And same thing with the red banging against the line. A little weakness there still. That'll probably turn with the way what we're seeing on Chicago Quant. Give it an hour and a half. And then let's see what Mexican peso looks like right underneath it. That is following through from Friday. So that's not like letting go at all. That's something. What an incline, huh? Just seems to be keep on marching forward. All right, from there, let's take a look at gold first. We did see gold, so let's do silver. There's silver. Silver's doing the same thing. It's lifting up. Same thing here. And, it's at the lows of the day now. silver, and just barely plus. So I guess all that nervousness and of the tank fire and all that stuff is calmed down. I did hear people quoting on like a couple of the other talking head networks that we don't trust, but I monitor them to see if they'll come to reality. Pretty much they don't, but it's always interesting to see. I keep them up on other screens in the room here, and they were talking about the panic towards greens and so forth. And I'll tell you, you can see it. Let's see if I open it up right here. There it is. And we'll show you what the grains are. I saw wheat this morning was trading at $13 a bushel, something like that. I mean, we're looking at, grains. They've gone up $5 over the last week and a half. I think limit up is $1. So we can show you the wheat. Yeah, it's at 13. They're showing a quote at 13. So we can show you that. Let's see where we at here. What we'll do is we'll show you wheat, and then we'll go like to J4X. There's J4X. Is that J4X? No, that's not J4X. Here's J4X. Whoop. That's not it. There's J4X. And let's put soybeans in there. We get soybeans on the J4X. There's soybeans. There's a chart around here somewhere. There we are. And now it's, it had its heyday about 5-6 days, I guess about a week ago. Was that the Monday? Maybe that was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. No, so that's the invasion. Is that the invasion? That must be the invasion. Is that the 24th? Yeah, 23rd, 24th. That's the invasion. So they popped it, soybeans on that day, and they have not gotten back to it. Now, let's show you soybeans here. Where are we at here? There's wheat. That's wheat. Is that wheat? No, that's not wheat. There's wheat. It's through the roof, and it's at $13 a bushel. Now let's go find soybeans. There's soybeans. You see how it has not taken out the invasion day high and the panic to it. It seems like it's inching its way to it. We've been in a weekly buy in that product for 20 some odd weeks, so it's not a big surprise. We've been in a weekly buy in that product since November. So we're heading, let's see, all of December, January, February, March. We're just entering into the March. So over 4 months, a third of the year, we've been in a weekly buy in this product. Pretty much most of these grains. Corn is even wilder. I'll show you what corn looks like. And that's what the paranoia is all about. Yeah, I mean, we're looking at corn. That's been in a weekly buy since September. So September, October, November, or let's just do October, November, December, January, February. Almost 6 months, half a year, we've been in a weekly buy from the $5 area. And now I think we're in the $7 area, maybe? $7.60. And it's down for the day right now. No, it's not down for the day. It's off its highs. Because it settled on Friday at $7.54. And now it's trading at $7.61, now $7.60.75. So that's the gist of that action we're really seeing at the moment. All right, and there's silver again. And then gold, I'd imagine gold is doing the same thing. Probably paring back a little bit. Not as much as silver, I would assume. There it is right there. Yeah, see, gold is still holding up in that 88, 87 area. We had a high of 09, I think it is, today. The high is 07, 2007, 00750. So it's off. What is that? $19. It's down $19 from its high. All right. From there, we jump over to platinum. See what they're doing with platinum today. Oh no, let's do copper. I heard copper was rocking again. You can see it's been in a weekly buy all year long. It hasn't really gone anywhere until this last week. You can see it there. It's gotten over $5 again, which is probably like all-time highs. If it's not at all-time highs, it's very, 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 very close to it. And let's take a look at platinum. And there it is right there, April platinum. Same thing. It's jumped over the 1150 area. We got to 1162. Right now we're trading at 32. So it's $30 off its high. Noivus, short and Noivus. An old trader texted me this morning at like 4 hours ago telling me that there's going to be margin calls in oil today. So I imagine that's how they got the $30 area this morning. And now maybe they've covered a lot of those shorts already. I don't know. It was I would assume if he says there's going to be some short calls, short squeezes in the afternoon, we'll see. Because usually what happens, brokerage houses ask for more margin in at like between 1 Eastern Standard and 1:30, something like that. And if they don't get it by then, they ask for it all day long. But if they don't get it by like 1, they usually kind of close your position out on you, and you have no power over that. So that pressure must be on there. Shell casings are copper. Ah! Good point, Robin. Very good point. Yes, of course. I heard they've... I have a list. What do I have? I have a list of 15 countries that are contributing weapons to the Ukraine, and one of them had just donated 1 million tons of ammunition. You know, it's like Sweden, Italy. Let me see if I can find the list. It's definitely well worth mentioning. I thought it was interesting. I actually copied the list. I made just for if I started mentioning it here, I thought it'd be well worth mentioning. So let's see if I can find it here. Just thought, and you're right. I thought about the physical. Let's see. There it is. So the list goes like this: it's like where's it at? Obviously the U.S. or maybe it is going to be U.S. U.S. is talking about giving them $10 billion. They're voting on that this week. Biden is not happy about that. But everybody is so paranoid now at this point that he's going to get overridden. Canada gave like $25 million. Germany is, been giving things. Sweden, France, United Kingdom, Belgium, Netherlands, Czech Republic, Italy, Portugal, Greece, Romania, Spain. They're all contributing different arms. Finland, so Finland better start holding on to their inventory. They're going to need it. But then the European Union has already told Russia that if they invade Finland, they're going to be fighting Europe. So that is the gist of that. Wow, huh? Definitely a wow. But yeah, Robin, that makes total sense. Yeah, I mean, you got to use those basic materials, and they're going to reach for them, and that's it. They're just going to raise the price up to manufacture the weapons. And now, and that's something we've been trading ruble for the last, since the invasion. We were trading ruble, and now they've stopped ruble trading here in the States even. So, what can you say about that? I mean, nothing really. Just is what it is. But the last quote I've seen is 122 and change. My goodness. Who knows what they're doing to this poor currency? Mr. Putin has taken that currency from the 30s or the 20s. He's doing the Aragon thing, Aragon went from prime minister to president. He took it from 1 and change to 21 and change against the euro. And now Mr. Putin, is taking the ruble from the low 30s to now the 122 over a 22-year period. Oy, oy, oy. What else can you say about that? But oy, oy, oy. I feel sorry for all these people. That's probably why we're seeing European currencies and American currencies and so forth stable. All right, from there, we go over to, let's see, where do we go from there? That was the metals complex. Let's take a look at the energy complex. We've seen June crude, spot crude right there, trading at basically, no, that's gold. There's spot crude trading at 120 now. Now it's $10 off its high today. And that's spot. And then let's go out a few months. And I guess if the world really was that paranoid, it would be up. That's $9 lower than spot at this point. So back month is $9, almost $10 under from the spot number. Now let's take a look at J4X and see where Brent is. There's soybeans. Alrighty. There's Brent. I heard Brent was, what did it do? Got up to I'm hard to believe. I would imagine it was even higher. If I had quotes on Brent, I'd imagine it's higher. But they're saying a high there of 130,684. Because the West Texas got there, but I guess that was just pure panic. You can see it's rolling over also, trying to roll back down again, like ours. And right now it's trading at, was it 120, 126? See that there? It's trading in the 126 area, 124. So, they're backing off from that nervousness of last night. And you see J4X trying to turn over too. We're doing the same thing on ours. It's turning over. It's trying to aim down. It's not there, but it's trying to aim down. As you can see right there. See, it's curving. It's not. I mean, it's not minus like that, but and you can see the weeklies has no issues. It's staying up there. All right. From there, we jump over to. Nope, not that. There we are. From there, we go to. Let's take a look at European. Well, there's U.S. natural gas. It's aiming up, and we're trading in the. What is that quoting it? It's basically quoting it at 4.77, almost 4.8. Let's put it up on J4 Chicago Quad. Let's see, where's it at? Right there. Activate. It's a little up. It's 5 something at the moment. You see that? It closed on Friday at 4.8 and change a unit. Now it's trading at 5.05, not 5.50, just 5.05, barely 5. So you can see the strength in it over the last. Where's that mouse out? There it is, right there. See all that strength in it in both directions there. And then let's take a look at European natural gas. We saw natural gas in Europe drop underneath 23 again. Let's see, where is it at? Right there. It'll pop out in a second. Where's it at? There it is, right there. Trading in the 23 area again. I guess it's trading at 22ish and change. The high was 23. The low was 22.02. So you can see it's red, moving down. So we're seeing that the natural gas is not panicking too much there. Robin says, remember the 1943 steel cents? Yeah, that's right. That's right, Robin. What a good point. Yeah. That's really good. That makes total sense about the munitions. So that's pretty much, I guess the world has gone into gear and is manufacturing bullets. I guess that's the answer to all that. So copper is there's a second move going on in copper. I heard that Smith and Wesson, the ammunition manufacturer here in the States, one of the manufacturers, there's half a dozen of them out there, if not, and then you have little ones. I had a friend that had an operation. Matter of fact, during World War II, Betty Davis, the actress who was out fundraising for World War II, she was actually there. She actually stopped off at his little factory. It was really neat. He used to let me fire like machine guns and stuff like that in there because he had a range upstairs to test stuff. So I was able to go up there and shoot. It was kind of fun. So that is pretty much what it comes down to. Let's see, what's the next thing we have here? So that's pretty much the natural gas in Europe right now. It's pressuring sideways to down still, which is a good thing. That's a sign of positive. And like I said, I think the panic from that electric power plant, that nuclear power plant, probably freaked a lot of people out. I heard people talking about it last night on some of the other networks that I always ridicule. So that would make sense. All right, from there, let's see, what did we do? We did the energies. So from there, let's take a look at a couple of stock indices, see how the stock markets are actually functioning. This, there's the Japanese 200. You check that out. You see there's pressure on that this morning. And you see the white lines down, and this is the Hinkiashi. And then let's see what we have. We have that same index on Chicago Quant, so we can take a look at that. All right, there. There we go. You can see they're doing the same thing, moving down. Line moving down. It's below. It's been in the sell for 4 days now, since the 2900 area. Now it's trading at the 2400 area, 2500 area. And let's take a look at let's look at the Nasdaq right there. There's the Nasdaq, kind of not as beat up, but still getting pushed down. In a weekly sell for a week, that type of thing. This is going on its second week, and they did flip it. We've been in a weekly sell since up in here, near the all-time highs, and then we flipped into a buy last week. Can you imagine? No, that's like a couple of weeks ago, before the invasion. Okay, before the invasion, it flipped into a buy. Then after the invasion, forget about it. Done. We put a fork in that. It started to roll over again. But it has vacillated. I mean, where's the invasion at? Is that the invasion? 16th to 20 something, right? So we're really looking at right there. So it got crushed and went into a daily sell. Oh, it was during the invasion. So there's so they thought maybe they could resolve these things. Putin would do a negotiation or something. Guess not. All right, from there we'll take a look at the S&P 500. Oh, let's do this. Let's go to J4X and look at the NQs also. They call that the Tech 100. Right there. You see the same pressure going on where it climbed up, and now it's rolling over again. But it hasn't taken out the low of the invasion point there on the Hinkiashis. Notice that? Holding up pretty firm there. Whereas everything else is taking it out. Let's see what the... it's just, we can see here the yen took it out. Right there. Not the yen, the Japanese index. Let's take a look at the. Let's see, where else is there? How come I don't see the FTSE? Where's the FTSE at? All right, let's put the FTSE in there. Oh, Robin says, then they made sense out of shell casings in 45. Oh, so they recycled it again. That's kind of neat. All right, let's see what the... I want to see where the FTSE is. Let's see. That would be the FT? SE? FTSE? Is that it? Right there. There's the 100 index. Okay, so let's put that in. And I wonder where the Zetradax is. Yeah, see, they've taken out the lows there too. That's really got them all shook up over there. I don't blame them. I mean, you know, if someone was trying to do that to one of ours, we'd be concerned about it too. And then, how about if we put the DAX in? There it is, the DAX. Yeah, there's the low of the invasion, and now they're taking that out too at the same time. He's shaking the tree, that's for sure. He's got them all shook up. Oh yeah. Yeah, so I guess that makes sense, Robin. And then they take the copper and recycle it. And then let's take a look at the S&P 500. There's the S&P 500. See the pressure on it? It hasn't gone down and taken out the low either. See that right there? It's not doing it. All right, traders. I guess we've had enough fun today. Our prayers are with everybody in harm's way. So be careful, people out there in Europe, and all our friends in Latvia. You know, we're going to be with you. You're NATO, so it means we're going to be there with you. And for everybody in Ukraine, you know, be safe, be smart, do your best. Alrighty, this is Doc from North America saying, happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Good luck, traders. Be safe, be smart. Ta-ta for now.